My name is Chris. I live in East Vancouver. This house was my wife's parents, and what happened was they built a new place, and they said, hey, we need somebody to live here because they thought that the house had good luck, so somebody had to live here, right? Somebody. Yeah, we'd have furniture out here in the summer. I'd come out, cushions are soaked, the rug's all wet, right? There's water all over everything. These wouldn't dry off for a week. The wood would start to split, all these things that made it really like a useless space. And then we were at the show, I think 2 years ago, and we saw your stand. You had the display going, you had the full glass sliding, full glass opening, this and that. And I thought, wow, that looks really good, right? It was, black aluminum and stuff, and so it looked very modern. We thought, and that's kind of like our aesthetic, kind of modern. I thought, wow, this thing looks fabulous, okay. When somebody comes over, hey, you interested? We're like, yeah, well, maybe, kind of non-committal. And then we were just kind of, listening to another conversation that the sales associate was having with somebody else. And then he was talking about the price. And we thought, oh, hey, that's actually, kind of affordable compared to these other systems we were looking at. And it looked like fantastic. So we talked to him at that point, and blah blah blah, went back and forth, and then he's like, well, why don't you come out to the showroom? You can see all of our stuff and this and that. So then we went out there and took a look and talked to, I can't remember who it was now. It was Michael. I think it was somebody. No, it was Michael. We were there for a long time. I think it was at least 2 hours. So you're probably thinking, when these people leave, it's been a long time. I got another appointment. I think in that time we probably had a coffee, water, coffee again, right? Because we were there a long time. But then we went away, came home, had a chance to talk about it, and weighed the pros and cons. I mean, the pros were everything. The cons, not really any. Other than, the fact that this was going to be a significant upgrade to the house in terms of, just what it was offering. And of course, that means some cost, right? And up to that point, we hadn't really spent a heck of a lot of money on our house. We kind of did this and that and this and that. So this was going to be our biggest project. But then, we looked at it and said, well, if it all goes the way it's supposed to, then we've got a room, right? We have a new room to add to the house. Normally this would just be an unused space, and which it was, as you know. And this would give us a spot off the kitchen to just walk out onto, lounge. We'd have a nice view. We could eat out here, sleep, all these things. And so, this was during pandemic, right? Because pandemic started in 2020. And so, all of our travel plans from 2020 were put on hold. We were supposed to go to Japan. And then 2021 was put on hold. We didn't do anything there other than, I think, some camping or maybe some to, I think we went to Lake Louise that year. Anyhow, so we thought, well, we're going to spend that money anyhow. We didn't. Japan was, quite expensive. So I thought, well, we got a big chunk of money saved up. It's like, maybe we should, take a leap of faith and just go for it. The glazing went in May. And right away, the kids had all these grand plans, right? I mean, we paid for it. They're definitely using it, right? Probably as much as me, but they're using it a lot. My uses are different though. Mine are a little more relaxing. Theirs are a little more active, whatever the case. So we got it in May, and school let out in June, end of June. And we're talking the day after school let out, boom, there was a sleepover here, right? Deck camping was a go, right? And so, yeah, it worked out phenomenally. Oh, that's another thing. Everybody felt totally safe with the kids coming out to sleep here because the door locks, right? It's got a locking door, and that was a huge factor, right? Because then this whole space could be secured, and we feel totally fine leaving stuff out here, people, kids, the dog, all those things. So. Yeah, I would say that people that have come and seen it, friends of ours, because everybody was very oh, what's it going to look like when it's done, right? Because everybody wants to know. You know, because everybody has, you know, in all of Vancouver for the most part, I mean, you can look around here, everybody has those aluminum covers with the fluted tops and the, you know, and the aluminum rail, and it looks kind of, right? It's not a great look. So everybody's very interested to see how it actually looked finished, and it's had rave reviews. Everybody's like, holy cow, that's nice. Like, that is, you know, way nicer than we thought it was going to be. So people love how it looked. Of course, you know, then they always want to ask you how much it is and this and that. I'm just like, oh, it was a fair amount of money. But I said, you know, the fact that you have a new space for your house, when you break it down like that, like what you paid per square foot for that extra space, well, you're getting a deal, right? So that, even like economically, financially, it makes sense. My friend who's a real estate agent, he says, whatever you paid, he goes, that probably doubled, that value doubled for whatever you paid. You've added that much value, is what he thinks. So, I mean, then how can you go wrong then, right?